a look at our tools of the trade, which are presented by Ram Trucks. Albert Pujols, first-time All-Star wearing the Angel uniform, has absolutely crushed the baseball. Lower half of his body, the great stride he's had, the step, the balance, barrel the bat through the baseball for 25 home runs, 53 RBIs for the machine. Consistently getting that bat head out because he's healthy this season, using that lower part of his body to be able to get that barrel out quickly. Fastballs in, off speed away, using the entire field. Albert Pujols has been fantastic this season in the first half for the Angel, for that All-Star wearing that Angel uniform. And now we're going to get you ready, get you back. We get the lineups, the first pitch when we return.
Set between the Angels and the Rockies. Second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Angels swept the first meeting on May 11th and 12th at the Big A, 5-2 and 2-1. They had the off day yesterday, as we've already told you about. And the last time they had an off day going into a series, it turned out well offensively for the Angels. They had the off day prior to that Texas series. They flew here after the game on Sunday, had the entire off day here in Denver. So now we will see what the Angels offense is capable of doing. I can't imagine that the expectation from the fan base is keep it rolling like you were offensively in Texas. That is hard to sustain, but it certainly would be nice if you can find that consistency.
Well, there's a lot of guys in this lineup that have great career numbers against the Colorado Rockies staff, so you got to believe that they're going to be able to continue that on from Texas in here to Coors Field. We'll go right into my key for this game to be successful. Go on a little journey any way you want it. Could be the glove that wins a game. We saw that at home. The pitching staff has been great, and also the offense. So any way you can find a way to win this game, that's what you're going to look for tonight for the Halos.
Well, before the game, batting practice was canceled for both teams. We weren't even sure if we were going to start on time here. There have been some, not really thunderstorms, but a little steady drizzle that washed out batting practice. The Angels did come out for early BP. The rain didn't really start till about 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock local time here. So they kind of washed out everything. They pulled the tarp. We thought they were just going to get the field ready, tarp it, just in case there was more rain coming in, but they've decided to get this one underway. They are expecting some rain throughout the night, so we'll just see how things play out. It's also very hazy here. Apparently some Canadian wildfires, the smoke from those fires have hit the valley here, and that's why you see this haziness or fogginess in Denver.
That's still surprising to be able to see, especially all the rain they've gotten down here and how the air has been different certainly what we've seen down in Texas.
Yeah.
And at home, where it was so hot at both places.
No question. Let's check out Mike Scioscia's starting lineup for the Halos tonight. Game number 83, mentioned 3.5 back with a 44-38 record. Johnny Giavatelli leading things off at second. Cole Calhoun at right. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at first. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. David Freese at third base. Matt Joyce gets the start at left. Chris Sinet is doing the catching. And, of course, National League, no DH. It's Andrew Heaney batting ninth, and he is on the mound. They are taking on the 26-year-old right-hander native of Lubbock, Texas, by the name of Chad Bettis.
Bettis, fastball 89 to 94. He will cut his fastball, curveball, changeup. About 57% of his pitches are fastballs. My go-to is be aggressive early, especially first to second pitch. Gives up a lot of hits in American League mastery. He is really struggling in his career against the American League. ERA over 7.27, 0-3 in his career versus the American League in interleague play.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Bettis tonight. Stubbs, Blackman, and Gonzalez in the outfield from left to right. Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Rosario from third to first, and Hundley behind the dish.
Arenado is so good at third base for the All-Star. He's won a couple Gold Gloves last 2 seasons, has committed 10 errors so far this year, has turned 18 double plays. You're going to see some outstanding plays here made by him. The local product from Southern California making those plays, comes in on the baseball very well, an unbelievable range at third base.
Mike Scioscia talking things over with Mike Winters, the second base umpire, and it looks like also Mark Wegner. Apparently the bullpen phone's not working for the Angels, so might just have to resort to hand signals.
The old hat up, yeah. Oh, he's ready.
Or the big guy,
little
the
guy,
wide
lefty.
guy.
Yes.
There's no big body guy out there to do the old, the old east to west movement.
That always made you feel good when you're down the bullpen and your manager or pitching coach would make that signal down to you.
Well, if you're that guy, you just look back and you point with the old question mark. Me?
Yeah.
Talking to me?
Not me. I'm in great shape.
So just a little bit of a delay to start this one. Johnny Giavatelli ready to lead things off. .271 average, 3 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Multi-hit game on Sunday with a double and a single, 2 runs batted in. First one tonight inside for ball one. The Angels with the series sweep of the Texas Rangers are now just a game under 500 out on the road at 19-20. Play good baseball at home as this is chopper back up the middle. LeMahieu was shading Giavatelli toward the middle, and the All-Star throws out Giavatelli for the first out of the game.
LeMahieu's very solid with the glove. Also, pretty solid all around infield and defense for Colorado. Playing up the middle, that's on the shortstop side of the base. The backhand, a longer throw than normal, but a perfect throw from LeMahieu to get Giavatelli out.
So 1 out at Cole Calhoun stepping up. Cole started to get his groove on for the weekend in Texas. 3 straight multi-hit games. Homered on Sunday. His 9th of the year. He is second on this Angels team in runs batted in with 46. Somebody had 10 RBIs over the weekend.
Yeah, real good series in Texas.
And he rips this one toward the corner. That'll go for extras. Cole a little bit late getting out of the batter's box. And he will stroll into second with a double.
14th double this season for Cole Calhoun. See on that swing through the box, kind of stumbled a little bit and grabbing at his helmet as he was going down the line. Didn't look all that comfortable on a swing.
Yeah.
Seems to be okay at second base.
So right from the get-go with 1 out, a man in scoring position. Here's Trout. .299 average, 21 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Voted to start in the All-Star game next Tuesday. He will look at his strike. Trout over the weekend, just 2 hits.
Yet the team scores 33 runs. Impressive.
They play the overshift on Trout. 3 infielders on the left side. Although LeMahieu close to the bag at second.
Soon they get that good sound in a catcher's mitt up here. Kind of reminiscent when we were in Target Field in Minnesota.
The limestone ballpark. 1-1. In off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Bettis making his 11th start of the season. 4-3 and a 3.67 ERA. Last start at Oakland. He faced the Giants and Oakland back to back. Took the loss, giving up 3 runs at 5 2/3 through 111 pitches. That got him.
Almost the same exact spot again. That's 3 times on this road trip he's been hit in that tricep, bicep area.
He was hit by a pitch in the first inning of Sunday's game. After a while, that wears on you.
Yeah, and also as a pitcher, you got to think, okay, even though you know it's not on purpose, he's still your guy. Right. You have to protect him.
7th time that Trout's been hit. And now Albert will step up with a couple of men on and 1 out. Albert a 2-for-5 game with 2 runs batted in, his 545th career home run in the 4th inning of that game. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Is an all-star for the first time wearing the Angels uniform. Saying today that he will participate in the home run derby.
And Dino Ebel's going to go there and throw for him. Last time Dino did that, he threw the flat and he won the home run derby.
No balls, 2 strikes. 265 batting average. There's Dino. 25 home runs for Albert, 53 RBIs.
A little different format in home run derby this year. It's more of a timed, 5 minutes to be able to get as many home runs in, as many swings.
The 0-2. Albert skies one out to deep left center field. Going back on it is Stubbs. That is gone. A monster blast. 3-0 Angels. You wanted some sound. You got it.
Soundful. And just as we're speaking about home run derby, Albert Pujols, number 26, now 56 RBI. Boy, does he love hitting against the Rockies. That's his 21st career home run, 11th in this ballpark for Albert Pujols. The machine covers that pitch. Behind in the count, a mistake made. Chad Bettis, and the machine makes him pay for it. Oh, that leverage he has, using that lower part of his body, that stride, so important this year.
Ibar swings through the first one for Albert. It's 546th career home run. And now 2 shy of Mike Schmidt, the all-time list. His 1135th extra base hit. Now he's 1 shy of Ty Cobb on that list.
So far the answer is yes, they're going to continue swinging the hot bats from Texas here to Colorado. First inning, 3 runs scored, 2 extra base hits.
Ibar flares this one foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ibar was red hot over the weekend as well. Raced his batting average at 280. A couple of home runs, 27 runs batted in. Chases a breaking ball. Huntley applies the tag, 2 outs.
That's a pretty tough pitch. Bettis through. Eric Ibar down and in. Swings over top of for a swing and miss. David Freese talked to him earlier today. He said he likes hitting in this ballpark. Loves the city itself. He loves hitting in this yard. 300 career hitter here.
Albert, by the way, with that home run, also tying the franchise record for home runs before the All-Star break. Garrett Anderson also with 26 back in 2000.
We still have quite a few more games left before the break. Now we're having a conversation with Don Baylor, former manager of the Colorado Rockies. He knew a thing or two about guys hitting home runs in this ballpark when he was the manager here.
Freeze a .242 average coming into tonight. He pulls this one foul. 3-0 Angels. A double by Calhoun. Trout hit by a pitch, and Pujols with a 3-run jack
on an 0-2 pitch. That's when you know you're locked in. A lot of times you're in protect mode, but a mistake out over the plate. Out of the ballpark, over to 390 sign.
Ball and 2 strikes. Bettis, a second-round pick in 2010 at Texas Tech. This is down and away. 2-2 now. Overall, decent numbers for him. Not an overpowering sort, but 50 strikeouts, 20 walks coming into this one. Freeze takes a called strike 3. Bettis settles down, strikes out the next 2 guys, but it was Albert Pujols with one swing of the bat giving the Angels the early lead.
What a swing on an 0-2 pitch. Mistake. Now belt high. Pujols, 26th home run of the season.
Colorado, let's check out Walt Weiss's starting lineup for the Rockies. Bringing up the rear in the National League West with a 35-47 record. Charlie Blackmon leading things off in center field. DJ LeMahieu, the second baseman. Troy Tulowitzki's been on a tear. He is the shortstop batting third. Nolan Arenado is the cleanup hitter at third. Carlos Gonzalez in right. Willeen Rosario at first base. Nick Hundley doing the catching. Drew Stubbs in left. And, of course, Jed Bettis is on the mound. He will bat 9. Taking on Andrew Heaney, making his 3rd start this year for the Angels. He has been very good in his first 2.
Yeah, he's been very solid. His ERA 1.38. My go-tos for Heaney to be successful here at Coors Field. Talk about percentages of strikes thrown to that arm side. That's inside the lefties and away to righties. 32% of his strikes are to the arm side, which is important for him, especially with that 2-seam sink action in this yard.
First one down and away. Blackmon, the center fielder. A .274 batting average, 11 home runs, and 36 runs batted in. Count is evened up now. Blackmon, the team leader in stolen bases with 21. This one's hit sharply. Ibar positioned absolutely perfectly. Throws out the speedy center fielder for the first out. The Angels defensively tonight have Matt Joyce in left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right. The infield consists of David Freese, Eric Ibar, Johnny Giavattel, and Albert Pujols from third to first, with Chris Iannetta, the former Rocky, behind the plate.
Mahidi on the mound, you're going to see a lot of ground ball type action. Albert Pujols has been fantastic at first base this season. First time All-Star wearing that Angel uniform, first time since 2010, and that was the year he won a Gold Glove, his last Gold Glove.
First one is down and in to DJ LeMahieu, a first-time All-Star. 298, 4 home runs and 34 RBIs. Both LeMahieu and Arenado first-time All-Stars. Fouls this one off to the right. Rockies, of course, can swing the bats here at home. Almost a 300 batting average as a team here. But they're 5 games under 500 at home. 17 and 22 at Coors Field. A very spacious outfield. Just missed in.
He's had some good life on his fastball. That one at 95. Really did a nice job adjusting his mechanics. Like Butcher talked about even in spring training, carrying into the season down in the minors. Throwing a little bit too much across his body before. He's really refined his delivery. Allow him to hit spots.
Flare out to right will fall in for a base hit. So man on with one down, and Troy Tulowitzki coming up.
That's one thing you'll see a lot in this ballpark is it flares because the outfielders will play deeper than normal. And it's a good angle to be able to see. We talked about before how he used to throw really far across his body. He's got better balance, landing almost straight at the hitter now. It's allowed him to say, especially when I talked about that arm side fastball, it's allowed him to hit his spots much better and more consistently with his changeup and most importantly with his slider.
.321 batting average for the Rockies shortstop. It's now 4th in the National League. Since May 29th, he has hit .392. That's tops in Major League Baseball. .381 in June. Led all of Major League Baseball. He's gotten back into the swing of things. Carlos Gonzalez starting to swing it a little bit better. But the Rockies also missing Justin Morneau, won a batting title last year. Corey Dickerson as well, who's out on the disabled list, almost hitting .300 as well. But the pitching continues to be an issue for the Rockies. Bouncer toward third. Freese backs up. Fires a second for one. The relay back is in time. Inning ending double play. It's a shutdown inning for Andrew Heaney. One complete. The Angels lead at 3-0. Angel fans, it's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WestDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Joyce, Iannetta, and Heaney for the Angels. Chad Bettis gave up the 3-run home run to Albert Pujols. Joyce fouls the first one back. Bettis did settle down to strike out Ivar and Freeze to finish off that first inning. Matt hitting 192, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. 1 for 3 game on Sunday. A single and a walk. He drives one out to center field. That ball's crushed. Blackman moving back at the wall. Gone! A big fly for Matt Joyce. 5th of the season. 4-0 Angels.
What a dead center field for Matt Joyce. A perfect swing for Matt Joyce. You're going to get a lot of high fives going back into that dugout, and certainly Don Baylor, Dave Hansen, Paul Sorrento are going to be right there with him to high five him. That's the perfect swing from him. Crushed that ball to center field. Fastball that ran belt high right over the middle part of the plate, in the perfect weight shift and the barrel of the bat, dead center for a home run for Matt Joyce.
Iannetta looks at a strike. First home run for Joyce since May 30th against the Tigers. More importantly, that swing didn't try to pull the baseball. Just took what was given to him and right back up the middle.
Great leverage he got on that swing. As you mentioned, Victor, you didn't try to do anything. He just had that swing, I think, the middle part of the field and got lift with it. Into the beautiful part of the ballpark, by the way.
Second home run tonight, 87th on the year for the Angels.
That is so cool out there in center field here at Coors Field. A waterfall, pine trees.
Full count on Iannetta. 190 average.
That's awesome.
And Chris draws the walk. So a home run followed by the base on balls. And here comes Heaney. A sacrifice situation.
I mentioned Bettis has had a tough time in interleague play. 0-3 with a 7.27. All of a sudden now you start to doubt yourself. Giving up 2 home runs already in the game. We're only in the second inning. Pitch count going up, 31 already.
81 for 8 with an RBI in his career. And he pops up the bunt. It'll fall down, so it'll go as a sacrifice here. Rosario flips it over to LeMahieu. That'll move Iannetta over to second with 1 out.
Well done by Andrew Heaney, advancing a runner. That's what you're trying to do now as a pitcher when you're in interleague play. That's what your job is, to advance the runner.
If you're the Angels, especially Eric Ibar, or even Johnny Giavitello in this situation, you've got to continue to test out Willeen Rosario at first base. That's not his natural position. He's a catcher by trade.
He's got 4 errors already this year at first base. That's a good point, Victor.
Has to learn on the fly. As a matter of fact, the Diamondbacks in a game just recently had 4 consecutive bunts as Giavitello reaches on the single to right center. Iannetta's going to be waved in. Blackman's throw to the plate is not in time. Hundley tried to cut it off and throw to second. Drops the baseball, and it's 5-0 Angels. Johnny with his 32nd RBI.
And that's when it gets tricky as a third base coach, when to send runners in, because they're going to play deeper than normal. That ball was flared in front of Blackman, who has 8 outfield assists. They decide to challenge him here, especially when the baseball might be wet anyhow because of the rain we had earlier in the day. That outfield grass more difficult to get a good grip on the baseball. Good decision. Gary DeSarcina sending Chris Iannetta home with the 5th run of the game.
This has been a problem that has been persistent all season long with the Rockies, especially on their pitching side, giving up runs early in games and digging themselves a hole. Coming in it tonight, Rockies had allowed the 3rd most first inning runs with 61. Phillies had allowed 69. The White Sox was 64. Angels have added 2 more here in the second. So what we saw in Texas continues, at least here in the early part of this ball game. And now Cole will bat. He started off for the Angels in the first inning with a double into the right field corner, his 14th of the season.
And similar to the theme we saw down in Arlington, using the whole field, middle part of the field, for successful swings.
Cole pops it foul. This one landed in the seats. And there is a ton of Angel fans, especially on the third base side. Not only in the lower level, but all over the place.
And we've seen so many just walking around town.
Cole pulls one to the right side. Rosario can't get it. Goes off the glove of LeMahieu. So it'll go as a single. And LeMahieu getting to it at least keeps Giavotella at third.
And Gary Dieter seeing it just stop Giavotella right away at third because that ball didn't get far enough away from LeMahieu. Another good swing from Cole.
Trout hit by a pitch in the first. Started in the All-Star game for the third consecutive season. He will look at a strike. Giavotella at third base, Calhoun at first. 5-0 Angels. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block by Hundley.
Hundley's done a nice job defensively for the Rockies. Thrown out 25% of would-be base stealers. See right there, good technique as far as keeping that break ball in front of him.
And that is hammered to deep left. That is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. 8-0 Angels.
Well, Earl Weaver would be proud here today. 2 3-run home runs. He always said the best play in baseball, 3-run home run. Don Baylor, he's loving what he's seeing. That baseball took no time to get out of here for Trout. 22nd home run. And we talked about it in the opening. Trout and Pujols in this yard last time around. Wow, they started off strong here tonight. That baseball was screaming out of the ballpark.
Albert looks at a strike. Breaks his bat, rolls one over to short. Tulowitzki has it. 2 outs. So 2 outs, nobody on for Eric Ibar.
It's pretty good numbers in his career here. Colorado, 9 for 15 for Trout. 2 members of the AL All-Star team starting lineup with 2 home runs, both 3-run home runs tonight.
Eric struck out in the first. Grounds this one over to Rosario. He'll take it himself. And that is the 3rd out, but the Angels hit 2 more home runs here in the second. Matt Joyce, his 5th of the year to straightaway center. Then Mike Trout and Laserby.
What perfect swings. Quiet through the baseball for Joyce to dead center field. Then Mike Trout super quick on that inner part of the plate. A 3-run home run. Angels up 8-0.
Trout with a 3-run home run. Matt Joyce with a solo shot, his 5th of the year to straightaway center. Then Trout, a 3-run blast of his own, his 22nd. Andrew Heaney back to work, and he'll face Arenado, Gonzalez, and Rosario here in the second. Nolan Arenado, 24-year-old product of El Toro High School, second-round pick back in '09 by the Rockies. At 24, the youngest All-Star in Rockies history as he skies one to shallow right center field. Trout comes in. And he'll put it away for the first down. Fans, the Halos will take on the Red Sox on July 18th at 6:05, and fans in attendance will receive a Nitto Eco Bag courtesy of Nitto Tire while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today at the stadium box office or online. So 1 out, nobody on for Carlos Gonzalez. Right fielder hitting .244 with 11 home runs and 30 driven home. Yeah, late on that one. That was rocketed into the seats. Hopefully it didn't get anybody. Looks like it got that young lady, but she's all right. And I think she still has the drink in her hand, which is key.
Yes.
And most important. Pulled over to first. Albert will wave off Heaney. 2 outs.
It's already 4 outs via the ground ball so far for Andrew Heaney, which is huge in this ballpark.
Rosario fouls one off to the right. Rosario takes inside. 294 average on the year, 5 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Same time at first base. Justin Morneau still on the disabled list. Concussion symptoms as this one's bounced foul. And he hasn't even been cleared for baseball activity, so might be one of those things where you start thinking about quality of life now moving forward for Justin Morneau, which is the sad thing considering he's already dealt with that once, a couple of times, matter of fact. Came back, won a batting title last year for the Rockies.
And former MVP of the American League, such a great talent.
Rosario went around. Iannetta will apply the tag, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Andrew Heaney. 2 of the books, 8-0 Halos. excited because Ken French is making an appearance in our booth.
The lucky charm.
Unbelievable. They are magically delicious. Freeze, Joyce, and Iannetta here to face Chad Bettis in the third. And in case you were wondering, this match is a career high as far as runs allowed by Bettis. Allowed 8 runs in 2 2/3 at Baltimore, August 17, 2013. Only 2 of those were earned. So this is the most earned runs he's allowed in a game in his brief big league career. Got to the big leagues in 2013. Last year pitched all in relief.
The Angels have had 10 multi-run innings in the last 4 games, including 2 innings today.
And Freeze shoots one to right. Leadoff single. Puts a man on for Joyce.
We always talk about those crooked numbers putting up there. Well, they've done that a ton on this road trip so far. And balanced throughout the whole lineup. Mike Scioscia talked about that the first day into Texas. He's looking for better on-base percentage and balance in the lineup. He's seen it so far on this road trip.
Joyce with that home run to straightaway center, his 5th of the year, 19th RBI. Looks at a strike. We touched on it at the beginning of the road trip in Texas about what the offense was capable of doing, or even going back to the homestand. That 6-3 homestand easily could have been a 3-6 homestand based on what the offense wasn't really doing. 2 walk-offs, one on a flare, the other on a wild pitch. The pitching was fantastic, but the offense non-existent. And all of a sudden, who would have thought that maybe 1 game turnaround where you pound the baseball around, but 3 straight, now 4 straight games.
On that trip down to Texas, 444 with runners in scoring position.
It's amazing. Coming off an 0 for 27 in those situations.
That's the thing that's even more impressive. You see with the team batting average is nearly 400 runs per game. Pitching carried it, you mentioned during that homestand. Offense carrying the entire team, but this pitching staff is still throwing the ball very, very well. But it really helps out when you're on the mound, when you have these guys swinging the bat the way they are. What a trip down to Texas for Cole Calhoun, a 10 RBI, already 2 hits in this game.
One, 2. Joyce fouls it at the plate.
And the guy hit about $1 billion down there in Texas, C.J. Cron, unable to play because there's no designated hitter here in Denver.
Mike Scioscia's secret weapon against the Rangers.
Yes. I got a chance to talk to him yesterday. I said, yeah, you saw the ball pretty well in Texas. He just smiled.
2 balls and 2 strikes now.
C.J. Cron, boy, he crushed the ball. Hit the ball to all fields. That swing we saw all throughout spring training in Tempe.
Eight for 14 in that series. And Joyce gets into one to center again. Blackman on his horse, racing back, and he will step onto the track and make the catch. 1 down as Freeze heads back to first.
And even though that's an out for Matt Joyce, that is another solid swing by Matt Joyce. And that pitch was away. And an all-speed pitch, too. So he's generating all that power himself to hit that ball to that part of the field, dead center.
One out, 1 on. Chris Iannetta drew a walk. Only free pass issued by Bettis. 1-1. Chris drives one to center. That ball's crushed. Blackman back. That is gone. Big fly for Chris Iannetta. 4th of the year. 10-0 Angels.
2 home runs tonight to dead center field. A rocket to left field and a bomb to left center field for the Halos. At this point, even more impressive than it was down in Texas. Hard of the plate. Some mistakes made by Chad Bettis. And every single mistake he has made, he has paid the price. 4 home runs allowed.
Walt Weiss making the slow walk out to the mound. That's going to be it for Chad Bettis. 10 runs on 8 hits, 4 home runs allowed, and we got ourselves our first pitching change. We're in the 3rd, 10-0 Angels. To nothing. 4 home runs allowed by Chad Bettis, and he is done after just 2 1/3. And he gives way to Johan Flande. And our in and out, who's in, who's out.
Flande fastball, 87 to 92 range, slider, solid changeup, his go-to pitch. Throws quite a few changeups, over 30% as a matter of fact, according to Fangraphs.
Just pitching in his 5th big league game this year. 7 2/3 innings, 13 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. First one, Andrew Heaney in for a strike. Heaney a sacrifice in his first plate appearance. That was in the 2nd. Flande with 6 starts at Double-A. Very good numbers. They got 6 starts at Triple-A, and not so good. A 7.11 ERA.
For his bat, a couple breakables, 3 pitches thrown to Andrew Heaney.
Respecting Andrew Heaney.
Yes.
Giavatella on deck. Oh, chopper back to the mound. 2 down. And here comes Giavatella. Final line on Bettis, 2 1/3, 8 hits, 4 home runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 10 runs all earned. Johnny with an RBI single in the 2nd. 1 for 2.
I mean, look at the numbers for Chad Bettis going into this game. He disallowed 4 home runs the entire season and 1 in his last 5 home starts, yet 4 tonight.
LeMahieu retires Giavatello, and the Angels are done here in the 3rd. They tack on 2 more, courtesy of Chris Iannetta's 4th of the year. The 4th home run the Angels have hit in this ballgame.
Boy, some great swings and using the big part of the yard and using that carry for the baseball tonight.
Saturday, the Tigers are in Minnesota to take on the Twins in game you can only see on Fox Sports 1 beginning at 1 p.m. Pacific. Then at 4, it's Baseball Night in America as the Yankees take on the Red Sox on your local Fox station. It's all this weekend on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1.
What a great story so far this year for the Minnesota Twins. Staying close in that race in the AL Central. 5 games over 500. 4 games back of Kansas City.
Andrew Heaney coming off a 1-2-3 second will face Hundley, Stubbs, and Flande here in the 3rd. With 1 strikeout, 1 hit allowed. Nick Hundley hitting .296, 6 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Long ball prevalent for the Angels tonight. Pujols a 3-run shot in the 1st as Hundley skies one to right. Cole back on it, reaching back for the fence, and make the grab. 1 down. Looks the Angels will host those red-hot Minnesota Twins on July 21st at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a Hawaiian Angels hat courtesy of Chevron Extra Mile while supplies last. Purchase your tickets at the stadium box office or online.
Hawaiian hat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Certainly a lot of Angel hats here in this ballpark. Tons of fans. You mentioned that earlier, Victor. There's a bunch of Angel fans here wearing their Angel gear.
Certainly a lot of pictures of the flying baseballs tonight. Mentioned that 3-run home run by Pujols, 3-run shot by Trout, solo shot by Joyce, 2-run shot by Iannetta.
When Trout came out to do some running, but just before the start of the game, a huge round of applause for Mike Trout when he came out of the dugout.
This one out to right field, chasing Cole back, and at the wall, this one has gone into the bullpen. That is a long drive for Drew Stubbs, who came in batting 103, reaches out and picks up his 3rd home run, and the Rockies get on the board.
Out over the plate, like an all-speed pitch. He's always had a ton of talent. Can run. He's got good power. He just hasn't made consistent contact. That changeup up. And a good swing from Stubbs. This went out to right field, right center field, his 3rd home run. It's one thing you have to try to do when you're on the mound here in this field. You got to try to keep the ball down. That was an elevated changeup. With the pitcher at the plate, he's definitely going to be taken here also.
0 for 1 this year. 2 balls and a strike. Should throw him a couple of breaking balls, just like Flande did to Heaney.
What he would be taking now? Well, now you will throw a breaking ball.
He's going Ichiro there.
Yes, he was. Looked like he'd be susceptible now to a nice little slider down and away.
Chopper over to third. Freeze has it. Flande hustling down the line.
Yeah, he was. He was thinking infield base hit.
With Bobby Abreu playing.
Well, John Lester got his first major league hit last night.
Was he now 1 for 66?
66 or 67, one of those two. Off of John Lackey, off his body. Former teammates with the Red Sox. I think that Lackey said something like, "You'll sign the baseball, send it over." He goes, "But you lost, though." There was a lot of rain in Wrigley Field last night. They had a pretty good delay. Lester had a no-hitter going in that game before end up losing that one to the Cardinals.
Charlie Blackmon grounded out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Changeup missing low. Heaney with some run support. 10 to 1 for giving up the home run to Stubbs. Third time this year the Angels have had 4 home runs or more in a game. This one's pulled to the right side. Pujols has it going underneath his glove. A single for Blackmon. Will bring up LeMahieu with 2 outs. DJ LeMahieu apparently likes Maroon 5.
Yes. Moved like Jagger.
1 for 1 with a single. Slices this one foul. Nice catch.
Why you bring the glove?
LeMahieu originally in the Cubs system, 2nd round pick out of LSU. Over to the Rockies in the Ian Stewart trade. Fouls this one off to the right.
He is a solid player.
Yeah.
Can run a little bit, 10 stolen bases. Solid defense. Very good defense. Very good, productive at the plate. 16 extra base hits this year.
Not your prototypical second baseman either at 6'4". LeMahieu, Gold Glove Award winner last year. Grew up in Michigan. Blackmon takes off. LeMahieu foul tips that one into the mitt. That'll do it for the Rockies here in the 3rd. They do get on the board with the Stubbs home run as we head to the 4th. Calhoun, Trout, Pujols coming up, leading at 10 to 1. Cole Calhoun to lead things off. 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Double in the first inning, his 14th of the year. He's also scored twice. Reaching for this one, pulls it foul. Alfredo. Look at him. Went more than 2 steps.
Yes.
He's feeling feisty after the off day.
He's saying that's enough. I'm done. Look, now he pulled back muscle. He's done.
High altitude got to him. Done. Oxygen tank now. Pulled down the line. He doesn't want any part of that one.
No, he says, no. I'm going to keep my fielding percentage up.
Good way to do that is don't make any attempts.
Yeah, or at least field to the side of your body. You're all right.
0-2 count on Calhoun. Cole takes a called strike 3, 1 away.
Back to my Hyundai key for this game today for the Halos to be successful. Any way you want it. Well, we've seen a lot of runs scored early on by the offense. 3 runs in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third. We've seen it from power. We've seen it through base hits. And Andrew Heaney also dealing on the mound. Matt Joyce almost had 2 home runs to center. Chris Iannetta, home run to center.
Trout hit by a pitch in the first inning, a 3-run blast in the second.
Those 2 right there have to feel real good about those swings.
Tonight marks the 23rd time that Trout and Pujols have homered in the same game. Usually means good things. Now it's on the corner for strike. 2-2.
Especially what these 2 have done together wearing the Angel uniform in this ballpark.
Albert on deck. 2-2, bouncer up the line. That is a fair ball. Arenado gets rid of it quickly. Nice dig at first by Rosario. 2 outs.
Well, we said at some point Arenado was going to make a highlight play. That's a heck of a play, and another scoop. Real nice scoop by Rosario at first base also. Arenado knows he has to get rid of it quickly. He's playing back and right down the line, just over the base. And an off-balance throw, 1 hop throw, perfect throw. Because you're going away from your body. That's a longer throw from Arenado, but a good scoop by Rosario. Gold Glove winner at third base, showing why he's done that.
Quick transfer too, off balance.
Especially when you know Trout's running down the line. You don't have a chance to gather yourself.
0-1 count on Albert. 1 for 2 game. Ground ball to short. Blonde with a 1-2-3 inning. First time the Angels have gone down in order. 10-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Tonight, baseball's best players gather in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic with home field advantage of the World Series on the line. Our coverage of the 2015 MLB All-Star Game begins next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox, and is always streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
That should be a great one. With their 26th first-time All-Stars named to the team. Some good young talent, and two Angels going to be in that starting line. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols. Albert's going to be involved in home run derby.
We'll see how things play out the rest of this week with on the pitching side of things. We talked about over the weekend. Both felt that Hector Santiago and Houston Street deserving of being an all-star. I understand it's hard to make the selections as the manager. You go based on player vote plus what you think you might need, and you still have the rule where one guy from each team has to, or one representative from each team has to be on the team.
Well, as of now, it looks like Sonny Gray is scheduled to pitch on Sunday. That means he will not be available, and they'll have to add another pitcher in there. But what I noticed the difference between, Bruce Bochy's team, they had a lot more starting pitchers as far as his staff as compared to Ned Yost. A lot more relievers on his staff.
Tulowitzki pops it up. Giavotella steps onto the outfield grass. Will make the grab for the first out. Tulowitzki not an all-star this year, but he is a part of the final vote. Clayton Kershaw, Johnny Cueto, Carlos Martinez, Yuri's Familia, and then Tulo.
Carlos Martinez has had a great season. Remember last year as a bullpen for the Cardinals. He's certainly a worthy candidate himself. Tulo has been crushing the baseball. A very important vote.
Interesting how those are selected too. You have 4 pitchers and then 1 shortstop. Whereas I think the American League is all position players.
All position players.
Arenado leads the big leagues in RBIs with 68 as he rips this one down the line foul.
It's great to see A.J. Burnett make the team for Pittsburgh. First time ever in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Xander Bogaerts, Joanna Cespedes, Brian Dozier, Brett Gardner, Mike Moustakas, the 5 for the American League final vote. And Bogaerts wasn't doing anything when the Angels were in Boston. All of a sudden, he's hitting over 300. This just popped up again. Deja vu all over again. Giavotella puts it away for out number 2.
Yeah, Dozier hit a walk-off home run last night, and he'll run around trying to get out the vote for what he's done. He's got some great power numbers for the Minnesota Twins, a surprise team this year.
I'll get back to A.J. Burnett and what could be his, I think it is his last season. I think he said
17th year in the big leagues. He's had a no-hitter in his career. Great numbers this year, too. I don't know if I'm stopping him. I'm pitching that well. And made an all-star team. That's great to see. All that hard work he's put through his entire career finally make it.
Popped up behind the plate. See if Finette has enough room, and he doesn't. Oh, what count on Carlos Gonzalez.
Chris Bryant for the Chicago Cubs makes the team. Phenom rookie. Jock Peterson from the Dodgers, another young phenom on that NL squad.
Broken bat roller. Giavotella has to hurry and got him. They might look at this one. Walt Weiss is going to have the guys downstairs take a look at it. Eric Young, the first base coach, signaled safe. It kind of took a while to develop. Giavotella playing a couple of steps onto the outfield grass.
Well, EY could run himself. See indeed if he got him.
Got him.
It looked like he got him.
Yeah, and they did. So nice 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Heaney. We head to the 5th. It's still a 10-1 Angels lead. Highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT Ubers, more live channels on the go than cable. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com. Top of the fifth here in Denver. Game one of a two-game set. Angels setting up Ibar, Freeze, and Joyce. Andrew Heaney, 46 pitches through 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. As Ibar leads things off, bouncing the first pitch foul. Halo's retired in order in the 4th inning, just the 4th time on this trip the Angels have been retired in order.
Well, you remember early in the year we talked about how many times they were retired in order.
Yeah, they were leading the big leagues in those situations.
Also, when we came into that first game, we talked about, you know, last year the same thing when the club came down, the offense had been struggling, go to Texas, and all of a sudden it's caught fire. Maybe they'll be able to carry that momentum they again this year down in Texas here and into Colorado.
2 balls and a strike on Eric, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground down.
Hitting's all about the timing, repetitions, and confidence. And right now there's a lot of confidence in those hitters for the Angels, which is important to be successful.
Bouncer back to the mound. 1 away. It's 5 in a row retired by Flande. After the home run to Iannetta that chased the starter Chad Bettis. .43 runs over the last 4 games.
A lot of baseball still left in this game too for the Halos to swing some more impressive bats.
Freeze had a single to right leading off the 3rd. He scored on the Iannetta blast. 1 for 2 tonight. Three balls and a strike.
Good hitters count for David Freeze. Good swing his last at bat, base hit in the right field.
Upstairs and he walks him. First base runner that Flande has allowed. He comes with 1 out here, the 5th. Joyce coming up. Joyce with a home run and a deep fly ball to the warning track at center. A little bit high.
Couple of great swings so far in this game from Matt Joyce. Home run to dead center field and a shot right to the wall that was caught by Blackman to dead center field. Another good swing. It's nice and comfortable. Didn't try to hit this ball out of the ballpark. Pitch out over the plate. Dead center field. Matt Joyce's 5th home run.
One ball, 2 strikes. He's been pitching in organized baseball since '06. The Phillies. It's his 3rd organization. Phillies to the Braves, now to the Rockies. And inside. All at the minor league level. Now 29. Joyce tops it foul. just looking at some of the numbers in email here, but numbers put on the board. The Angels have the last 2 games against starting pitchers. Colby Lewis gave up 10 on Sunday. Bettis 10 today as Joyce fouls this one.
That can't happen all too often. When you think from starters to give up 10 runs back to back, starting pitchers give up 10 runs back to back starts.
Tim Meade sent out an email just based on those numbers. The last time a team scored 10+ runs off starting pitchers in back-to-back games were the Pirates, July 20th and 21st in 2010. This is back up the middle, but Tulowitzki behind the bag has it, touches the base, fires the first, and it's a double play that ends the inning. There's more of that, so I'll give you the rest of that. It dates back a long time. 10-1 Angels as we hit the bottom of the 5th. Telecast is presented by Authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Andrew Heaney to face Rosario, Hundley, and Stubbs here in the 5th. Just to finish up on that thought about the 10 runs back-to-back games against starting pitchers. That's the last team to do that was the Pirates in 2010. Rosario looks at ball 1. Last time a team scored 10 or more earned runs off starting pitchers in back-to-back games with the Yankees in August of 2000. And lastly, the last time a team scored 10 earned runs off a starting pitcher in back-to-back road games was the Yankees, August 23rd, 24th, 1939.
Incredibly impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. Chad Bettis gave up 10 runs in 2 1/3. Colby Lewis faced 2 batters in the 5th inning on Sunday, giving up 10 runs on 12 hits, allowing 1 home run. Bettis gave up 4.
Well, you can see that happening maybe back in the day because starting pitchers were in those games forever.
Right.
You didn't really have many guys down in the bullpen. But in this modern era, to see that a couple times is surprising.
Bouncer to the left side toward the hole, and Ibar's got it. 1 out.
Eric did a nice job of gathering himself, getting some momentum to be able to make that strong throw across the diamond. Another ground ball out for Andrew Heaney, but well played by Eric Ibar.
Hundley, a fly ball to right his first time up.
Well, Andrew Heaney's had a great pace today on the mound. Very quiet in his delivery.
Sharply hit, one hopper backhanded by Ibar. 2 down.
Boy, what a play by Eric Ibar. Hasn't got any hits yet in this game after a solid series in Texas, but what a job defensively. That ball was in the outfield grass and deep in the outfield grass before making that strong throw across the diamond to get Hundley. What a play by Eric Ibar. Back-to-back solid plays in this inning for Eric Ibar.
That'll bring up Stubbs, who homered in his third inning at bat, so he's 1 for 1. You know, I went back, talking about starting pitchers back in those days. Went back to that box score in 39. You're right. Thornton Lee's the guy in the first game that the Yankees scored those runs. He went 7 1/3.
Yeah.
Gave up 16 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned.
Saved the bullpen.
Yes, he did.
There wasn't any bullpen, but he saved it anyhow.
And that was against the White Sox, and the next day they did it against the St. Louis Browns. And it was Lefty Mills who went CG. 9 innings, 12 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned. 10 strikeouts, 7 walks.
They said, hey, when you take that baseball to start the game, you're going to finish it no matter what. There's no looking down in the bullpen. Hey,
No.
Any help? No.
The beauty of
you're on your own.
Baseball Reference, be able to go back and see the box scores and the different numbers from those days. Stubbs looks at a strike. Full count now.
Heaney staying inside. He remembers that baseball that Stubbs hit out the right center field was an all-speed pitch away.
Here's the payoff. And that is drilled out to left. Here comes Joyce. He'll make the catch. Squared it up and right to Matt Joyce. 7 in a row, retired by Heaney. 5 complete, all Angels so far.
Game for the Halos. Albert Pujols with a 3-run home run. Matt Joyce to dead center field. Ow, the baseball was screaming. Trout, 3-run home run. Chris Iannetta, ow, to dead center field. 4 home runs, 2 to center, 1 to left, center. 4 home runs for the Halos.
Hashtag Al.
Yeah.
10-1 as we start the 6th.
Hashtag screaming baseball off the bat.
It's been a wild 4 games for this Angels bunch. Sweeping Texas and a commanding lead here in the 6th inning. Chris takes the strike.
And now an official game. 5 innings. Got it in. We didn't know that was going to be the case earlier today.
I think they were going to wait around as much as possible for tonight. I guess the weather tomorrow doesn't look promising. You never know this time of year here in Colorado. Just a quick 2-game series, and it's off to Seattle for a 4-game set before the All-Star break. 1-2. Number third. Arenado barehands it. 1 out.
He's really good at third base. Look at that. Have that confidence to use the bare hand and still get that much on the throw. Seen some fine defensive plays by the infielders. Eric Ibar's made a couple. He's talking about his play. Arenado has made a couple really good plays himself at third.
Haney for 1 with a sac bunt and a bouncer back to the mound. Down goes Andrew for the second out. Flande's certainly done a nice job of settling things down for the Rockies. Really base running allowed. Sorry, good with the walk in the 5th to freeze.
Yeah, he's really kept the ball down very well. He's got some ground ball outs, a number of ground ball outs. We've seen a pretty good slider too.
Longest outing this year, 3 1/3, and that was against the Dodgers. Ground ball over to third. A 1-2-3 inning. That's a hose too, by the way. Went to the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels up by the score of 10-1. Coming up on Angels baseball, it's an all-new Goopy Tuesday. What's your favorite TV show? Find out what some of the Halos watch next.
Empire. I gotta find a new one. I think I'm gonna go with Mad Men. I haven't watched that series. I like TV shows. I like good series.
Goopy, what's your favorite television show?
Ray Donovan. I'm looking forward to
That's coming up on Sunday.
Yes, it is. I love that show. There's some serious action in that show.
No doubt. Really good show.
What about you?
There's so many of them. Right now I'm catching up on Silicon Valley.
Good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. HBO show.
Nice.
Season 5 of Breaking Bad now. Just starting season 5.
My son loved that show. Loved it.
Breaking Bad?
Yes.
It's not bad. Perfect time to do it is during the season too. All the time on the plane.
Yep.
You could watch 4 or 5 episodes depending on the flight, especially if you're going back east. 9-1-2 for the Rockies here in the 6th. Blonde, Blackman, and LeMahieu facing Andrew Heaney. 2 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Make that 3 strikeouts. This season, the Angels want to give fans exclusive experiences at Angels Stadium. All Access Angels gives fans a chance to bid on great experiences like Steel Third and Honorary Bat Kid. For more info and to bid on these experiences, just log on at angels.com/access.
Grant Green song. Charlie Black.
The outfield.
Yes.
Oh, he's singing.
Yes.
He's going to karaoke tonight. We should go. I'd love, seriously, I would love to watch you on stage singing the 80s hairband stuff. Can you do it?
Oh.
Can you hit the high notes? That's the
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yes.
Go power ballad.
Oh, no question.
Blackman wrist one to right. Second hit of the game, so he's 2 for 3. Which would be your all-time power ballad that you would go ahead and karaoke with?
I love My Little Sister Christian, My Night Ranger.
That's a fantastic song.
Yes, yeah. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, if I had a chance, I give it a shot.
I would stop by Walgreens to get a Bic lighter just to watch you sing that song.
And play the drums while I'm singing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'd be motoring through that.
Yes, you would. DJ LeMahieu 1 for 2. And if there was something more up-tempo, what would you go with? Loverboy? Would you?
Working
Leather
for the
pants?
weekend. Yes. That would be
The red
perfect
and the
one.
bandana.
Oh, yeah.
Cut off T-shirt.
No question.
Well, they were red leather pants too, if I remember correctly.
Hey, got to think in terms of the Angels. Wear the red leather pants there.
I guess so. We should do an open Loverboy theme for you one of these days.
That would be perfect.
Mayhew grounds one, and I don't know if Johnny didn't see it, but that looked like a tailor-made double play ball. Blackman will advance to third. Giavotella broke to his right when the ball was to his left. So runners at the corners here with 1 out.
Yeah, that was hit hard enough. It's got a real good chance to turn, even with LeMahieu's speed to turn a double play. You see right here, off the bat, reaction goes the other way.
So now Tulowitzki at the plate with 2 on, 1 down. Double play ball in the first and a pop-up to Giavotella in the fourth.
He's rolled into 12 this season with that one earlier today.
He shoots one to right. RBI single. LeMahieu will stop at second as Blackman scores. 10-2 Angels. Tulowitzki with his 45th RBI. That's 3 straight hits allowed by Heaney.
Quick visit, Mike Butcher. Trying to stay back where you normally been throwing the baseball. That wasn't a bad pitch. It was down. Tulowitzki's been swinging the bat exceptionally well. Just went the other way. He's going to stay back, think in terms of another ground ball with someone.
Be curious to find out, just going back the way this inning has played out with the 3 straight hits. You know, what happened with Giavotella on that ground ball that Mayhew hit, because that would have been right at him. If anything, just a tick to his left.
And it was hit hard enough. He recovers easily to be able to turn a 4-6-3 double play.
Arenado 0 for 2. Fly ball to center to Pop-up. That's out to right. Playable for Cole. LeMahieu goes back to second to tag. The throw from Calhoun is cut off. There are 2 down.
That was a real smart pitch there by Andrew Heaney. A changeup. First pitch. Anticipating as a power hitter like Arenado is. 24 home runs on the season. He was anticipating getting a fastball. Said he got a changeup out in front. Located well, too, by Andrew to get a fly ball to right field.
So Carlos Gonzalez at the plate with runners at first and third. 10-2 Angels here in the 6th. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Ground ball to first, ground ball to second. Gonzalez a slow start to the season at 200 in April, 235 in May, jumped up to 280 in June. Takes upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Game number 6 in the month of July for him. He's at 294 so far prior to tonight. He has LeMahieu at third base, Tulowitzki at first. 2 down. 2-1, chopper to second. Giavitello charges in, has it, and Heaney limits it to just 1 run. 6 complete here in Colorado. The Angels on top 10-2.
Kind of summer event by Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by Hyundai, great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
10-2 Angels lead at top of the 7th here at Coors Field. That is a look at Sloan's Lake, Denver. Plenty of Angel fans certainly very happy to see the Angels continue to swing the bats the way they did in Texas as they continue this road trip, looking to make it 4 in a row on this trip. 6 games over 500 for the first time this year. As Cole drives one out toward right center field. Carlos Gonzalez gives way to Blackman, the center fielder. Tracks it down for the first out. A 2 for 4 game for Cole. A double and a single. First down here in the 7th.
Real nice adjustment by Andrew Heaney after 3 hits in a row. Through the inning, no more damage done. This little visit, refreshing visit for Mike Butcher to get him back to staying back in his mechanics, stay down, use that all-speed pitch, don't get in that fastball only mode where you just go out there and stay within your game. Even though you have a significant lead, you still want to pitch your game.
Two balls and no strikes on Trout.
That's anticipating the fastball on a 2-0 count. Chase the slider in the dirt.
Trout 1 for 2 with the home run. Second. He pulls this one toward third. Arenado has it. Spins around, fires to first. 2 down.
Now it's time for the top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. Albert Pujols with 2 on in the first on an 0-2 pitch. Fastball covered. 3-run home run by Albert Pujols. His 26th home run, 56 RBI in the season for Albert. On his way to the All-Star game, the starting lineup, and home run derby also.
Albert, since that home run, has grounded twice to Tulowitzki. So 1 for 3 game. '26th home run, tying Garrett Anderson for most home runs before the All-Star break. Lifts this one out toward right. Gonzalez calling for it, and the Angels go down in order. 7th inning stretch time at Denver. It's 10-2 Halos. Photo. Use hashtag WestDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Andrew Heaney back to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rosario, Hundley, and Stubbs, 6, 7, and 8 for the Rocks. Ground ball, perfectly positioned. Johnny Giavitello. There's out number 1.
Pretty amazing right there, Johnny, getting that ground ball after the inning. Johnny Giavitello went up to Andrew Heaney, said sorry about that, not being able to make that play. It could have been a double play ball at him. Right away, Heaney gets a ground ball right to Giavitello, who gets the first out here of the 7th. Right after that inning, Johnny going up there and saying sorry I wasn't in position to make that play. It's good to see Andrew come back in that inning and then get a ground ball right at Giavitello.
Huntley 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a ground ball to short. Lifted down the right field line. Long run for Cole. He's playing deep. 2 outs. Angels with 3 runs in the first, 5 in the second, and 2 in the third. Providing more than enough support for Andrew Heaney, making his 3rd start for the Angels for his 2nd win.
And what I've been impressed, he is very aggressive in the strike zone. Coming into this inning, went through 6 innings, 74 pitches, 50 strikes. Where he's gotten 2 outs with his 4 pitches so far in this inning. Talk about that arm side success. Perfect spot once again for Andrew Heaney.
Oh, 2. Stubbs with a home run and a liner to left.
Let's see if you get him to expand the strike zone here, something out of the zone.
Jammed him.
Good life on the fastball. 92 there from Andrew Heaney.
Hasn't appeared to try to do too much. Overthrow. Try to throw an incredible breaking slider. Everything's been under control for him through those 3 starts. And he ties up Stubbs, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as he picks up his 4th strikeout. 7 complete. Angels still on top.
Two as we head into the 8th inning. Kid French with you at Coors Field. And don't forget, following this one, it's all about Angels Live post-game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Myself and Jose Mota will break this one down. But first, we have a very special guest with us. Jenny Cavnar used to work with me with the Anaheim Ducks. She just made history over the weekend. She became the first woman to do color commentary on the radio in the National League. She works for Root Sport here in Colorado. And what was the reaction like once you just found out that you made history?
Gosh, I was overwhelmed by it all. I mean, I got an email from Susan Waldman, who's been doing Yankees broadcasts for so long, and she actually did kind of a one-off National League game way back in the day, so it was really kind of the first time of doing a whole series, but I was just overwhelmed from the fans and my friends that were texting me. I didn't realize the deal that it was because I just felt like I was out there doing my job.
Jenny, was this planned or was it spontaneous?
Yeah, Jack Corrigan, who's one of the Rockies announcers on the radio, asked me kind of earlier this year if I had any interest in doing it, and they really wanted to get me on the radio for some fill-in later in the season. So when the opportunity came, again, I was just so humbled that they asked me to do it, and they kept, making sure that I knew they wanted me to do it because of my baseball knowledge, and it had nothing to do with the historical context part of it, which really, again, in our business makes you feel pretty good.
Finally, we're going to be in the booth anytime soon.
I hope so. It'd be great to get back. It felt just awesome to get those 3 days in. And as you know, anytime you kind of keep doing something, you want to do a little bit more of it and try and get better.
Congratulations. I am so happy for you. True celebrity in my presence.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Victor Gooby, let's send it back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Frenchie, and great story to hear. Hopefully it continues to occur a little bit more often, more frequently.
I know everyone was excited here with the Rockies. Listen to do that play-by-play on the radio side.
One ball, 2 strikes on Freeze with 1 out. Dan Robertson has come out to the on-deck circle. He would bat for Matt Joyce. 2-2. Freeze 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a single, and a walk. And that'll see its way into right field. That is the first hit that Flande has allowed. Just the second base runner.
Second hit of the game for Freeze, 3rd time on base. Mentioned a 300 career hitter here at Coors Field. Now 11 for 33 in this ballpark.
Including the ascending Flande's work, a total of 5 innings. Facing Robertson. Joyce finishes the game going 1 for 3 with a home run. Daniel takes a strike. Robertson 9 for 33 with a couple of runs batted in for the Angels. 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. That's this one foul. It's headed toward the seats. Rosario giving it a look. By the way, Rosario's made a couple of nice picks over at first base for a guy that's not familiar with playing a whole lot of first.
It's all about those repetitions, getting more and more plays, working on that. Normally, when the weather's better, those throws over during batting practice. Stuff before the workouts, early workouts.
That's a little looper to shallow center field. Now it'll get down for a hit. So back-to-back knocks for the Angels here in the 8th with a man on, or with 1 out, I should say. We'll bring up Chris Iannetta.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of flares fall in front of outfielders here at Coors Field because they play deeper than normal. There'll be a little jam shot instead of that ball generally sometimes will land by an infielder. Will flare out to the outfield.
Good look at the outfield here. 350 down the right field line, 347 down the left field line. 415 to straightaway center. This ballpark now 20 years old this year. And it's fantastic. I think at 20 years of age might be the 3rd or 4th oldest ballpark in the National League. Isn't that crazy?
That is really, I would have never thought that one.
Iannetta with a walk and a home run. It's also grounded out. This is fouled back. It's the 3rd oldest. Dodgers, Wrigley Field and Dodger Stadium. 2-2. Home run for Chris to straightaway center field in the third inning, his 4th home run of the year. That was 17 runs batted in. He pops this one up. Infield fly rule is called. LeMahieu backs up, makes the catch, 2 down. And Heaney will bat here in the 8th with 2 outs. 0 for 2 with the sac bunt. 81 pitches. In the 8th, he'll face 9-1-2. Pitcher spot, Blackman and then LeMahieu.
57 strikes of his 81 pitches. Impressive from Andrew Heaney. See if he can pick up his first career RBI.
Has Freese at second and Robertson at first. Rockies have action in their bullpen right now. Heaney foul at the plate. Christian Friedrich is ready to go. Figured that Walt Weiss would prefer to have Flanda get the last out here, and then go ahead and pinch hit for the pitcher spot leading off next inning, or next half inning. And Heaney goes down swinging. The Angels will leave a couple of men on base. Well into the bottom of the 8th inning. Heaney back out on the mound with a 10-2 lead. The Angels all season long with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today. Daniel Robertson, pinch hit for Matt Joyce, stays in left field. Andrew Heaney on the mound. Brandon Barnes to pinch hit here for the pitcher spot. Barnes hitting .277 in 44 games, 7 doubles, a home run, 8 runs batted in, 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter.
In this game, Heaney has faced 27 batters, 16 first pitch strikes.
Nice job by Johan Flande for Walt Weiss. 5 2/3, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs. Considering the way this game started, Barnes chases a breaking ball. Now he had to throw down the Pujols for the strikeout to complete the strikeout. 1 out.
Great location once again. Get the guy coming off the bench and expand the strike zone, get ahead of the count, which we've seen a lot from Heaney, not only in this game, but all 3 of his starts.
Charlie Blackmon with a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored. All-star last year. Second round pick out of Georgia Tech in 2008. Looks at a strike. Matt Shoemaker on the mound tomorrow. Chris Russin on the hill going for the Rockies. This is a little loop around toward right center field. It's a 3-hit game for Blackmon.
Yeah, nice smooth swing himself. Coming in this game though, just 73 against left-handed pitching, but he stayed back very well against Andrew Heaney. 3 hits in this game.
7 hits for the Rockies tonight. LeMahieu has 2 of them. Blackmon with 3 now. Just in off the plate.
A little bit inside again, back-to-back 91-mile-an-hour fastballs just off the inside corner.
Three no. There's a strike, 3-1. Angels have some action in the bullpen. Heaney now 92 pitches.
Couple right-handed bats coming up next, potentially. See if he can get a ground ball double play here.
On the corner. Full count. I'd love to see that too. The double play ball. Have him come back out for the night. See if he can get his first career CG.
Very manageable pitch count.
7 innings the last time out against the Yankees. 6 before that. It was against Houston. The 7 innings against New York, his longest of his brief major league career until tonight. He's gone 7 1/3 now. I wonder if Blackmon's on the move here to stay out of a double play.
Certainly runs well.
Huge lead too.
know if you're Andrew Heaney right now, your focus is right on that hitter. So you can get that ground ball in a middle infielder to be able to get a chance to turn a double play.
Blackman doesn't go this one up the middle. Ibar can't get it. It's a single. Blackman will turn and head to third. The throw goes to second. The runners at the corners here with one out, and Tulowitzki due up. Here comes Mike Scioscia. He's going to go to the bullpen. Fernando Salas getting ready for the Angels, and that's going to be it for Heaney. A fantastic outing tonight.
Yeah, you love to see that out of your pitcher, especially when you get a big lead like that, to be able to go deep in the game. Heaney solid once again.
Pitching change for the Halos here in the 8th, on top 10-2. Strikeouts, no walks. He'll depart with a couple of men on base as Mike Scioscia hands the ball off to Fernando Salas to face Troy Tulowitzki. Salas, 38th game, 1-1 record with a 4.59 ERA.
The thing I like about Andrew Heaney, he's walking around in that dugout. He's kind of bumming a little bit. He wanted to go out and have an opportunity to be able to finish the game. That's what you want to see, a guy that wants to be better every time out. Still got a little edge working to him. I like to see that. Here's a guy that wants to start the game and finish the game.
Tulowitzki 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Fernando pitched in Friday's game, just 1/3 of an inning. Beltre to pop out to end the 8th. 19-game hitting streak for Tulowitzki. A single he picked up in the 6th. Two balls, no strikes. Good breaking ball. Another go off speed pitch.
Great changeup.
Two. Got him with a high fastball. Down goes Tulowitzki, 2 outs.
How important is that change at the pitch before? And then all of a sudden you elevate with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Looks like 96. Upstairs for a swing and miss for Fernando Salas. It's a great sequence set up by Chris Iannetta. Fernando Salas to get a big strikeout.
So 2 outs down. Here's Nolan Arenado, 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs. The 2 righties up. So she's going with Salas, who's held righties to a .211 batting average so far this year. Lefties have hit him to a .314 average. Blackman over at third, LeMahieu at first. This one down the right field line, slicing foul. Oh, 2 lifted down the right field line. Cole Calhoun racing in, makes the catch, and the 8th is in the books. Fernando Salas retires. Tulowitzki and Arenado. We head to the 9th. Angels still on top, 10-2. And congratulations are in order as the Angels announced their 2015 Hall of Fame class today. Dean Chance, Tim Salmon, and Mike Witt all will be inducted on August 22nd during the Hall of Fame ceremonies before the game. And congratulations to all 3 guys.
I can't wait to see that. All my favorites. Tim Salmon got to play with him, teammate, back in '97. Mike Witt had one of the best curveballs. Perfect game in '84, and my guy.
Yeah, Dean
Chance.
Still got his baseball card, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Cy Young
I
Award
still
winner.
have in my bag.
64, and Mike Witt's perfect game, of course, the last game of the season in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Christian Friedrich takes over on the mound here in the 9th inning. 36th game, 0-1 record and a 4.46 ERA. He'll face the top of the order. Giavotella, Calhoun, and Trout. Givatella 1 for 4 with an RBI. That August 22nd, by the way, is a Saturday night against the Blue Jays.
And fireworks that night, I'm sure,
Yeah.
too.
Will pop up to LeMahieu at second base. 1 out. Cole with a couple of hits tonight, a double and a single. 2 for 4. Double that he picked up in the first inning, his 14th. He's also scored 2 runs. An offensive barrage the first 3 innings. 3 runs in the first. Pujols with his 26th home run, a 3-run shot, giving him 56 RBIs on the year. The second inning, Joyce with a solo home run to lead off the frame. His 5th. And then Trout came up and hit a 3-run blast in the second. Mike's 22nd, and now with 48 RBIs. 0-2 count on Calhoun, and the Angels added 2 more in the third on Chris Ionetta's 4th home run of the year. Looks like Mike Bourne will work the 9th for the Angels as he loosens in the Angels' pen. Nice job by Salas. Finish off the 8th inning. Cole went around, and there are 2 outs.
Keep those inherited runners where they were.
Trout a 1 for 3 game with that home run. He was also hit by a pitch in the first. He scored twice. Mentioned the 10 runs the Angels have put on the board tonight. 3rd consecutive game which they've scored 10 or more. As he pulls this one to left, it's a base hit at the very least. Cut off by Stubbs, and it's a single for Mike. And we give Pujols an opportunity here. It's the 4th time the Angels in their history have had 3 consecutive games of 10 or more runs.
Break a ball down and in, and a nice job getting his hands inside his body, be able to drive that one right down the right field line. So quick on the inner half of the plate, especially anything down. Get that batting average back over 300 for Trout.
One ball, no strikes on Albert. A 1 for 4 game. Ground ball to third. Arenado will go across the diamond. The Angels are done here in the 9th. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Looks like Mike Bourne will be the guy trying to close out this 10-2 Angels lead. 4 games in a row as far as a victory for the Angels. Try to go to a season high, 7 games over 500, and continue to play good baseball.
Pick up a game on the Astros, who lost to Cleveland tonight.
Is that a shutout? Did they finish off the shutout?
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0.
It's Corey Kluber picking up the victory.
22nd game for Moore, 1-1 mark at a 6.19 ERA. Pitched Friday for the first time, coming off the oblique strain. Able to run on a home run. Is Gonzalez, Rosario, and Hundley here in the ninth. Gonzalez tonight 0 for 3 with 3 ground ball outs. Swings at what may have been ball 3. Mike trying to get back to that fantastic rookie campaign last year.
It's really important for him to set up his fastball throw for strikes because he's got a plus changeup.
2-2. Looks like Gonzalez lost the handle of the bat there.
Good velocity on that one there, 94. Mike Moore.
Does it seem to you that he kind of fell in love with a slider more so than his bread and butter has been the fastball and the 2 types of changeups that he throws?
I personally think he can start changing speeds with his changeup. It'll make it even better. That's a great changeup. I mean, that's unhittable. But it's all set up by his ability to get ahead of counts. Good follow through, way out in front. 74 mile an hour changeup after a 94 mile an hour fastball, 20 mile an hour differential in those 2 pitches. It's just so hard as a hitter to stay back and make contact.
Rosario, the first baseman, is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, 2 ground outs. As he looks at strike 1.
That's a good slider there from Moore, but he throws 2 different types of changeups. One that have a little cutting action with his changeup to right-handed batters, and then he'll throw that one on run away from a left-handed batter. Going to try to paint a fastball away here.
And he was late on that one. That is rifled into the seats. Count remains at 0-2. Well played on the ricochet. This was down the right field line, and that will be a fair ball into the corner. Rosario on his way to second. He's in there with a 1-out double.
Back-to-back fastballs ahead of the count 0-2. Both of them were up in the zone, and that was up and away. And when you're in protect mode, doesn't matter how firm that is, you can make contact. It's right down the right field line.
Hundley looks at ball 1. A win tonight would make it 8 straight here at Coors Field against the Rockies. One ball, 1 strike. This one out to right field. Cole come in a couple of steps, put it away. Rosario's not going anywhere. 2 outs. Stubbs 1 for 3. He homered back in the 3rd inning. Andrew Heaney looking to go 2-0.
Certainly was an extremely impressive tonight.
Two balls and no strikes. So Bud.
Slider to get back into the count.
Good off-speed pitch. 2-2.
That's that little cutting action on his changeup.
Full count. Three-two upstairs, and he walked him. So 2 on now with 2 outs.
It's almost like he tried to guide that changeup. So important to the bullpen last year, and the success of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia, Mike Butcher, Mike Warren.
And Paulson will pinch hit here for Christian Friedrich. Rosario at second and Stubbs at first. Upstairs, 2-0. Paulson hitting .283, 5 home runs, 18 runs batted in, 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year. Good strike. Count evened up.
Back-to-back backdoor sliders. Important inning here for Mike Warren is to gain that confidence back.
Two, and that's change it. It misses low. Full count. Runner's going to take off here. 23 pitches for Warren. Top of the order, Blackman on deck. He has 3 hits tonight. Runners go. 3-2. Got him swinging. Down goes Paulson. Light that baby up as the Angels take game one by the final of 10-2.
What an impressive all-around game once again by the Halos. Started with that swing from Albert Pujols in the first inning. 3-run home run by Pujols, 3-run home run by Mike Trout, solo shot by Matt Joyce. Chris Iannetta with a solo shot, and very good behind the plate once again for Chris Iannetta. Did a nice job of working with Andrew Heaney, who picks up his second major league victory. 7 1/3. This very, very good innings pitched tonight.
Third time this season the Angels have hit 4 or more home runs in a ball game. They did it early. Albert Pujols set the tone in the first with a 3-run blast. Matt Joyce with a solo shot. Mike Trout with a 3-run home run, and Chris Iannetta